stream about what happens to the YouTube algorithm when it murders people. And then YouTube literally murdered this live stream live while it was going on. YouTubers, creators, this is going to blow your mind. As you can see right behind you, this is a analytics chart in real time shared by a partnered YouTuber. Have you ever experienced one of your videos or your entire channel doing extremely well, and then all of a sudden dropping off in terms of the performance down into oblivion? This is what people refer to as my channel suddenly died. This is what people refer to as YouTube murder. This is totally real, and we're going to talk about why YouTube channels, YouTube videos, and other YouTube related items just suddenly go from doing extremely well to doing terrible overnight. We're also going to talk about things like this. When you're looking at the analytics on your channel, you see how well all these videos did in this example right here? They did extremely well, and as you can see, all of a sudden, all of these videos just suddenly died. What happened in the YouTube algorithm? What happened in YouTube's platform that caused these issues? We're going to talk about the real things here, and we're also going to talk about myths and misconceptions about it, all in today's episode. You got to stick around to the end, and hopefully YouTube will not murder this live stream a second time, because we're revealing the truth. This video is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster using Restream.io? All right, there are a number of legitimate reasons why things like you see in the image behind me, where you're getting a ton of views on some of your videos or a ton of views on your channel, happen, and then all of a sudden those views stop. Where did this entire idea come from? We need to just show the source of this. This came from the partnered subreddit. Let me just show you the post right now for YouTubers. Only partnered YouTubers can get into this subreddit. I've been a part of this subreddit for a bit, and it is a source of a lot of misinformation on the internet, where partners are basically feeding each other incorrect information about how YouTube works and the algorithm works and things like that. And what I want to do is share with you the correct information. So the post is, this is what it looks like when YouTube suddenly murders you. Okay, and here's what I Make Fights, this user says: I was getting 350,000 views per day for 3 weeks, and then today at 8 a.m. everything died, and my views dropped 90% since yesterday, and they go down every hour, no idea why. And there's this comment section where everybody is talking about every freaking reason under the sun why it happened. I'm going to address a number of these comments today. I want to talk about what's real about this and what's not. Here are the screenshots provided. So things like this truly do exist. I have high-end YouTube clients that show me their channel. They show the sudden drop in views. And this is especially true for clients that upload infrequently to their channel, where they're riding high with a lot of views, and then suddenly the algorithm stops serving their videos and it just drops off. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what happened, where the channel was going from 15,000 views per hour in this case down to next to zero, as you can see right above my head. That is true YouTube murder. There's real reasons why that can happen. And also what you see right here, another screenshot this user provided, where 4 out of their top videos were getting lots and lots of views, and then they suddenly stopped. What happened in these cases? What really happened? I'll tell you what really happened here, and then we're going to talk about the misconceptions of what goes on in these scenarios. Okay? So what can really happen is, number one, YouTube tests different things with their algorithms nonstop. And so what that means is human beings in the YouTube team will decide, you know what, we're going to test how we're going to do thumbnails this week. We're going to test a new thing with titles. We're going to test a new batch serve thing with suggested videos. We're going to try out a new way to display videos in YouTube search, etc. And whenever YouTube's team decides to do these tests, they obviously have to use real channels to do the tests. And so unfortunately, your channel could be a part of one of those tests. Great to see you guys. No, the stream is not murdered for now. Hopefully YouTube doesn't murder this stream. It just got murdered. last time I tried to do the stream. So let's see if it stays up. Good to see you, CJ. Good to see you, Casual Nerd Jason. And so if your channel happens to be a part of one of these in front of users, and so what they're trying to do is they're trying to increase the click-through rate. They're trying to improve the audience retention on their platform overall. And so in order to do that, they need to test out different theories of how they could do that, right? And so they need to do these sorts of A/B tests and what have you to try that out. And so as a result, your content could be subjected to those tests. Your content could be the next subject of an experiment by YouTube. And so you could see some anomalies. They test 10,000 to 100,000 channels at a time sometimes, maybe even millions. They don't disclose this, but they did tell us, and they have told us multiple times, that they do these tests. These are not secret tests. So you could be a part of a YouTube test. Number 2, it's possible that your videos that are a part of a cluster of videos that suddenly all of a sudden die out of nowhere, it's possible that one of your videos did extremely well. Let's say video number 1 in this example right here did extremely well, and YouTube's algorithms test serving video number 2 to those same viewers, and it does well. And it tests serving video number 3 to those same users, and it does well. And it tests serving video number 4 to those same users, and it does very well. And now all of a sudden, 4 videos about one topic on your channel end up really taking off. That's great. However, once YouTube's algorithms have felt that they have found all of the viewers that it can find, essentially, for that particular topic, it may all of a sudden have exhausted those viewers, and your videos in your channel might appear to die all of a sudden because YouTube's algorithms just stopped finding viewers that will click those videos and watch them. That is a true thing that happens on YouTube, and that can cause YouTube. Here comes YouTube Murder 5.0 right now. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I think something's actually going on right now. It won't hold the stream. My streams always do fine. It won't hold the stream. It's YouTube Murder again. This is crazy. Anyway, we're going to keep trying to plow through and finish this. But what can happen is if your topic is maybe seasonal, maybe it's about Christmas, if your topic is maybe about Thanksgiving or something, or your topic is about news that has already passed, then of course the videos or the videos around that topic on your channel can my stream is getting spiked. Yeah, your topic can run out of interest on YouTube. So YouTube has served maybe those cranberry turkey recipes around Thanksgiving, and people are no longer clicking on them. And so then YouTube says, well, okay, I'm going to kill all those videos now. And so those videos suddenly die. Is that YouTube murder? Well, it could look like murder. It could look like this. Your videos could get lots and lots of views until Thanksgiving's over if you're making how to cook a turkey video, and they suddenly go away and they suddenly die. So those are the 3 legitimate reasons that YouTube murder can happen. But what I want to address in this live stream, which YouTube is trying to murder in real time. I see it happening. It's suddenly disconnecting and trying to murder my stream nonstop. There's some other items that occurred here in the comment section that I really need to address, or I feel I need to address here. So other people say, this sort of thing happened to me after 10 days of solid growth, as if somebody pulled the plug on an experiment. So this person is highlighting probably they were literally a part of an experiment on YouTube. Their channel may have been the beneficiary of a new experiment in YouTube's algorithm. YouTube's team ended up giving them a lot of impressions as a part of some experiment that occurred with the algorithms, and then the experiment was over, and then the traction went away. That is not abnormal. That is totally normal. And so, again, YouTube is still murdering my stream. YouTube, stop murdering my live stream. It just keeps disconnecting. This never happens, ever. Is it because of the topic I'm doing? I'm getting a little bit paranoid right now. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, what is even going on? Restream is getting spiked hard, huh? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. It's okay, Awall. Everything's going to be fine. All right. So The point of this is that if you diversify across multiple platforms and with multiple revenue streams, you're less vulnerable to the very real concept of YouTube murder that occurs. And so when you have low upload frequency, like somebody like Dobbs who's in chat right now on YouTube, then he is more vulnerable, for example, because he makes a lot of videos. He makes videos infrequently on YouTube. And so he is depending quite heavily on each individual video doing well. And he is trying to, for example, I coach him. He's one of the creators I coach. He's trying to increase his upload frequency as a part of his strategy. And that's really smart. When YouTubers increase their upload frequency, they're less dependent on the performance of each individual video. And if one of your videos suddenly gets murdered like this, your entire channel performance and your business and your revenue are not completely at risk anymore if you increase that upload frequency. Another thing you can do to try to stop this real-time view sudden drop-off from occurring on your channel is to create content that is more evergreen. So content that will get views and will be relevant, not just this Christmas season, not just when this game comes out, not just when the news drops, but will be relevant forever. And so if you create a large library of evergreen content on your channel, then you can create a foundation of views like you see behind me, and they will rarely go below whatever baseline is on your channel. And so if you've created 1,000, let's say, evergreen searchable tutorial videos on your channel, those will be searchable and evergreen for a very, very, very long time. As you can see on my channel, I've got a baseline of views on this side right here that is rarely ever going to dip that low on my channel, because all of my top videos that you see behind me in my real-time analytics, all of my top videos are searchable evergreen videos. What do I mean by evergreen? Evergreen is a piece of content that people are going to be looking for a long time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe even 5 years or more down the road. Like a tutorial video on my channel on OBS, for example, or how to live stream on Facebook. These are topics that people will be searching for a really, really long time. And so those create a baseline of views on my channel and can create a baseline of views on your channel for you to have a more stable output in terms of acquiring audience, acquiring revenue, and having that be the foundation of your online business. So upload frequency helps. Selecting topics that are relevant over time helps significantly. And the third thing you can do to help create a more stable view ratio or view threshold or view baseline on your YouTube channel is to create multiple YouTube channels. And so one thing that I've done, and I'll show it to you right now, is I've begun diversifying my channels significantly on YouTube to where I'm not just uploading on one channel, I'm actually uploading right now on 4 channels. So if one of my channels, like my Awall Digital channel, suddenly gets murdered by YouTube, like right now they're trying to murder this stream, I have the Digital Drop Podcast channel and my Digital Drop Clips and Awall Digital Clips channels that I'm now uploading to. And so this diversifies your risk across the platform, where if one of your channels starts to dip down, the other ones can make up the difference if you get murdered by YouTube or something suddenly goes wrong or the performance decreases out of nowhere. This is something really important for everyone to keep in mind. Diversifying your channels can make a lot of sense. And this is also something that can be the case for live streamers. Like, for example, right now, I'm live streaming using Restream.io. Perhaps YouTube is murdering Restream.io. We don't know why. The stream keeps disconnecting. And so I recommend Restream. There's a link in the description below on the YouTube version of this and the Facebook version of this, where if you restream to multiple platforms, you can increase your viewership over time. For example, on this stream, if I was only streaming to Twitch during this stream, I would only be getting like 10 viewers or so. But the fact that I'm streaming to Twitch and Periscope and YouTube and Facebook, I actually have 50 concurrent viewers right now on this stream. So if you want to be restreaming, that's another way to diversify as a YouTube streamer to help avoid things like YouTube murder from taking down your entire stream or taking down the entire performance of a piece of your content. All right, so let's talk about other comments on here. Why do so many people pay close attention to the hour by hour? This is a YouTube partner saying this, by the way. Why do so many people pay attention to the hour by hour numbers? They typically mean nothing for the long term. This is absolutely correct. So it doesn't matter what happened to your numbers in the last 24 hours. It doesn't matter what happened to your numbers in the last 48 hours. What matters is what happens to your numbers on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. And so when you're creating your goals as a creator, when you're making your goals as a creator, you need to be thinking first and foremost, how much money do I need to make on a monthly basis in order to pay my bills? Not how many views do I need to be getting on an hourly basis? Guess what? Paying your rent doesn't happen in terms of views on an hourly basis. Paying your rent is something that you do each month. And so you need to be focusing on monthly financial goals. And as a result, you maybe should be focusing on monthly view goals to help support those finances. And so what I recommend to creators that can't handle it or are emotionally affected or can't stop looking away from their analytics, one thing that you can do is you can make more time and more room for your top performing content. Rinse and repeat on a monthly basis. But do not reassess your content strategy. Do not reassess your business strategy. Do not reassess every single video every 24 hours or every hour. Because if you do, then you're going to be looking at YouTube murder like this behind you. And you're going to be looking at things like that happen like this in your numbers all the time. And you're going to be making snap decisions that aren't smart. You need to be taking the long view in terms of your content. Taking the long view in terms of your strategy, because you want to be doing this for a long time, right? You want to be full-time creating content, not just for the next hour or the next 24 hours, but for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. So let's review the things that we just talked about that can help you combat YouTube murder, which is very real, but rare. Diversify the number of channels that you're releasing content on. Release more evergreen content, increase your upload frequency, and live stream to multiple platforms using something like Restream.io. The last piece that I'd like to bring up for you guys is revenue diversification. So a lot of folks that are completely depending for paying their rent and paying their bills through YouTube AdSense, they'll be looking at their YouTube revenue numbers and going, oh my God, am I going to be able to make rent this month? They're looking at the numbers in their dashboard. I'll show you I'm not scared to show you my money that I'm making on this channel. I'm making $900 in this next month. They're hawking this view number right here. They're hawking this estimated revenue number right here. And they're looking at these real-time views over here on the right in their YouTube dashboard and be like, oh my God, last month I made $9,000, but this month I'm only making $2,000. Oh my God, do I need to quit and do I need to go get a real job? What's happening? And if you're constantly looking at your channel that way, moment by moment, you're going to be stressed out. And if you're stressed out, you're making worse content. And if you're making worse content, these numbers are going to keep going down even further. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're constantly looking at your numbers. I recommend looking at your analytics and looking at your numbers on a monthly basis, not an hourly basis, not even a daily basis, a monthly basis, and making fundamental decisions there. And when you do, each month, you need to be looking at exploring one new income stream every single month to diversify outside of the YouTube money that you're making. This YouTube money I have right here, and your YouTube money, everyone that's watching this, your YouTube money should be 30% or less of the total dollars that you make as a creator if you want to be secure. Because YouTube apocalypses happen, the ad revenue suddenly dies. Your view numbers, as you saw in these multiple examples, could suddenly die, of course. I mean, these are very real screenshots and very real examples of what happens. And things happen with your particular channel. You could get lots of claims on your content all of a sudden. You could get copyright strikes. The topic you're covering suddenly could be less popular. Lots of things can happen. So if you diversify your revenue streams, you help fight against YouTube murder. And what are my favorite revenue diversification opportunities? Patreon, because it doesn't have an algorithm and you get 90% of the revenue. Amazon Associates, because it doesn't have an algorithm and you get a commission off of things that you're already using and you recommend to people. And I also recommend direct donations through things like PayPal because you get 97.5%-ish of the revenue, when people give you money through direct donations. If you're counting on things like YouTube revenue, YouTube takes 55% of that. If you're counting on things like Twitch bits and subs, Twitch takes 30 to 50% of your money. If you're counting on things like Facebook stars or YouTube super chats or channel memberships, Facebook and YouTube will take 30% of your revenue. So you need to diversify that revenue to help fight against YouTube murder if you end up getting lower performance on your channel. Guess what happens? Let's say, for example, you did get murdered like this on your channel and your views suddenly went down, but you had a Patreon strategy in place. Guess what? If your views on your YouTube channel go from 100,000 per day down to 10,000 per day, they literally get decimated, reduced by 1/10, your Patreon subscribers are still subscribing. They're still giving you money. So your money on Patreon is not fluctuating with random things that could happen in terms of YouTube murder on your channel. Do you get it? Do you see why going off platform with revenue diversification helps fight against this YouTube murder? Right. So diversification, diversification, diversification. More channels, more platforms, more revenue diversification, and just releasing a sheer amount of more content can help prevent this YouTube murder from affecting you. For example, every day right now, even though YouTube's trying its very best to murder this particular stream, as you guys can see from the lag spikes live, I release 2 live streams every day, 4 YouTube clips every day, and 1 additional original YouTube video every single day across 4 YouTube channels. Plus I live stream on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, on DLive, and Trovo. Plus I have Amazon Associates for revenue. Plus I have consulting for revenue. Plus I have TubeBuddy affiliate for revenue on top of my YouTube revenue that I'm making. Do you see how I'm diversifying myself? That's how I'm supporting myself. That's how I'm supporting myself and my family. That's how I am a full-time creator. I'm not just telling you these things theoretically to help fight things like YouTube murder. I'm doing it myself. And I want you guys to learn these lessons along the way so that when your numbers suddenly drop, when your channel is suddenly looking like it's on the out and you're worried, you can know and you can rest assured, you know what? I've got more channels. Or you can say, you know what? I've got 10 more videos scheduled. I'm good. You can say, you know what? I've got Patreon going. It's all right. I've got a couple $1,000 a month coming in right there. You could say, you can stop stressing out so much about the YouTube specific performance of your online business and what you're trying to do as a creator and focus in more on what matters and what counts. Get out of the moment. Get out of the next hour. Get out of the next day. Even get out of this week and be thinking what's going to happen next month, the next 3 months, 9 months, 12 months, the next 5 years, and start getting a longer and longer view. And the more that happens, the less these real-time analytics murders will affect you, and the less stressed you'll be, and the better you'll feel. And the better you feel, the better your content's going to be, and the happier you're going to be as a content creator. Isn't that why you're doing this in the first place, is to be happy? Isn't that why you're creating content in the first place? To do what you love? Put the pieces in place for your online business. Put the pieces in place for yourself so that you can actually enjoy the ride while you're doing this, rather than being on this emotional roller coaster as your channel goes up and down and up and down, because YouTube's gonna do YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, despite the lag spikes and the fact that YouTube tried to murder this one. I appreciate you being there with me while I plowed through this, through the technical items, and I'll see you tomorrow. I stream every single weekday, and so I want you guys to follow me right now on Twitch. Link in the description below, Awall Gaming on Twitch. This is where I want you guys to, I'm only asking you to do one thing today, and that's follow me on Twitch for these live streams on weekdays. They're free coaching for creators. If you got any piece of value whatsoever from the stream, follow on Twitch, and then you're nearly guaranteed to get notifications that these streams are happening. Adios amigos, and good luck when YouTube comes to murder your channel.